Hey everyone, how are you? It's Lori Melnitsky, and I'm a speech language pathologist. As many of you know, I am the administrator of this page, and I also specialize in stuttering therapy and oral motor therapy. I wanted to come on and talk to you about a subject that's dear to my heart as I work with a lot of middle schoolers, and it is about being different, and especially when it comes to things like stuttering and ADHD. I want to tell you that once you get past like the age of 7, it's hard, and there's no guarantee before the age of 7, but there's no guarantee that stuttering is going to stop at that point, and that's why between sometimes the ages of 8 and maybe 12 or 13, those are the hardest years. Now, I'm going to tell you there was one thing with stuttering severely. Hey, Mindy. I'm going to tell you there was one thing with stuttering severely, but that wasn't my main goal in middle school. My main goal was not to stop stuttering, even though I would have been happy. There was one thing I wanted, and if you stay to the end, I'll tell you what that was. Middle school brings, as we all know, a lot of other issues, whether you have stuttering, whether you have, ADHD. It brings, especially nowadays, I notice it brings a lot of anxiety. The main thing in middle school is that people don't want to stand out. So, especially when you're doing stuttering therapy and you're asking kids to change how they speak, some of them can, and some of them it really like rocks their world because they don't want to be different. They don't want to be pulled out for a speech. Maybe they'll go privately, but they're usually going, not all, because I have a lot of kids who come because they want to come, but there are others who are coming because their parents want them. And there are a lot of complicated things, like are they doing something wrong? Can they prolong their speech, which is very hard for a middle school. It's very hard for adults. So what do we do? What do we do at that point when we have these kids, whether they stutter, whether they have ADHD? What do we do? One, it's very important to emphasize their strengths. What are their strengths? What are they good at? Number two is to talk a little bit about what stuttering means to them. You would be surprised. I have some kids who stutter and it doesn't bother them. It doesn't stop them. I have one who's actually on a radio show and he doesn't care, and that is the healthiest thing. Number three, keep them talking no matter what. You can have a certain time where you might want to practice some of your fluency skills, but they need time to just talk and be heard. So I think in the middle school years, the most important thing to realize is that nobody wants to be different, and we want to get them through these like hard years where we encourage their strengths, where we teach them to advocate for themselves, where we as parents don't let our anxiety get to them, because I'm a parent and I totally understand it. I'm sure there were many years where my anxiety drove my kids crazy. And I once shared the one time in middle school when my name got called on the loudspeaker for speech therapy, and I thought I was going to run out of the school. I was so embarrassed to the point where I wouldn't even acknowledge that it was me, that it was my name. So the one thing that I wanted in middle school was straight hair. I had the curliest hair, and the day that chemical straightening came out, I was so happy. So believe it or not, even though I was stuttering severely, I would have chose that straight hair so I can be like everybody else. So hope that helps you, and have a great day.